Thank you for joining us again on March for Education TV. I am Kerry, your guest host, filling in for Adriana, your student host. I'm here today with Mr. Burns at Middletown Education Center, and I appreciate you for making time today.
Thank you.
So tell me about the Transition Center. How does a student arrive here?
So Middletown Transition Center supports students with an IEP. That means they're identified special education. They're the years between 18 and 22. There's different, approaches that you can take to get here. One is if you've graduated high school but chose not to take your diploma. So if you choose not to take your diploma, you can get services up to the age 22. So therefore, then you can either enter our vocational life skills program, where we work on building, career skills, stamina within the work, independent life skills, or you could go the other route and, think about getting a certificate or a degree at Middlesex. And therefore, we can support you in that area.
Now, why would a student not take their diploma?
If they take the diploma,
then they don't get the services.
They don't get the transition services.
That
So they get the added 4 years.
right?
Yep. So they get the 4 years added on. But if they choose to take the diploma, then therefore they're saying they don't need the services and they can do it on their own.
So the students that are invited to come here, have they been in a traditional education program at Middletown schools and just have an IEP?
I'd say about 90% of the kids, young adults, come from Middletown High. We do get some that come from, say, Stonington, West Hartford, and they moved into Middletown. So you have to be a resident of Middletown. The other way is if you're under DCF care,
Right.
And therefore your nexus becomes Middletown. Therefore, you can be placed here if it's the right fit. So we support the students that want to get higher education, a certificate or a degree through one of my tutors, and I meet with them constantly. The other approach is if you're 18 years old and you haven't graduated but you're identified special education, you can come here and work on your credit recovery.
Hi everyone, my name is Grace. I've been with the Middletown Transition Center for about 2 years now. I'm currently attending classes at Middlesex. My major is general studies, and my career goal is an early childhood teacher. I work with Ms. Jepson, who is a tutor for the Middletown Transition Center. So the courses I took Career Success, Intro to Computers, College English, Human Services, Digital Arts, Early Childhood, and then English. I'm really proud of myself that I got to English. It was kind of hard for me to get there. I took math. Next semester, I'll be taking general psych, math, and then another early childhood class that I'm really liking. And I'm also passing that class, which I'm very excited for. So what supports I get from the program are, we focus on learning strategies and how to become a more independent student. I've been getting really good with that. I've been using Google Charts to keep track of my assignments. I use voice typing and online readers when I work on assignments and when I read an article. In the beginning, I hesitated to use the resources in the beginning, but now I understand how they help me. So what me and her work on is vocabulary proofreading, reading out loud, to improve my writing. I don't want her to give me the answers. I kind of have to figure it out on my own. Because when I figure it out on my own, I kind of feel proud of myself. And then I can always ask her questions. That's kind of what she's taught me over the years. She's taught me to speak up for myself, to ask questions, what I don't understand. She's kind of helped me get past that, which I really appreciate. I'm starting to do that. I'm starting to catch on to that. In the beginning, it was rough. I was really hesitant. Didn't want to do anything they told me. Wasn't listening, was doing these. Well, I was doing the work. It was hard for me. When I started college, it was a struggle, a real struggle, with assignments and expectations, what they expected of me. I went to all the sessions, it's just that I was struggling in the beginning. I have to set goals and priorities and to stay focused. I'm not always on my phone every time I'm in the session. I'm not distracted. I'm always focused. That's the task in hand. I've earned good grades and learned how to become a better student. And I'm very proud of myself, and everybody around me is. I really hope that I can, stay in this program and learn a lot more. And yeah, thank you for listening.
So do you do outreach to try to recruit children, or do they know students, or do they know about you through their guidance counselors that kind of offer and recommend that they come here?
I think a little bit of both, yeah. So I meet with the special ed teachers and the staff at the high school. We discuss cases that are coming over here. It's funny, a student that I just got recently, they were in another part of Connecticut. A principal that was in Middletown moved to that part of Connecticut, and he was thinking about relocating to Middletown. He knew about our transition center, so he was actually our liaison to help help with that. So that helped that he reached out to me. Therefore, we got the wheels in motion, and now the students attending. Transition center.
Does every town have are we required in every town to have a transitional academy?
They are required, but not all have them. So they'll sub out to someone else.
I see.
It depends, on the population at the time of how many students do you have for that 18 to 22-year-old window that are identified special education, and how many decide that they don't want the transitional help and they opt out. So for a program to only have like 2 students, is it cost effective or not?
Right.
Versus, we have a healthy population. We have roughly, I think, 18, 19 students, 14, I think, in our vocational program, and 5 at the college.
Hello, my name is Paul Brindamore. I'm a tutor with the Transition Center. I'm here with one of my students. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I am a student at Middletown Community College, and Howard, one of my tutors.
What classes have you taken at Middlesex?
I've taken Math 095, English 096, English 101, and Math 137, and I've also taken a human service class, so that's pretty cool.
That's quite a bit. How long have you been taking classes at Middlesex?
About 2 years now, maybe 2.5 years. Yeah, around that. Yeah.
How was the transition from high school to college for you?
It's been interesting, I mean, in high school, in the start of college, I started out not caring about my grades and stuff like that. And then I realized I had to pick myself back up and everything like that, and I started giving a damn about my grades, and it's paying off so far.
Yeah, you're doing good. So how has the Transition Center provided services to you?
They've helped me with organization, and they've helped me with schoolwork and learning concepts, and they've helped me with my math homework and getting ready for everyday life.
How do you meet with your tutors?
We meet online at the school library because of COVID now, so it's kind of hard to meet in person more. So basically online and everything.
How often do we meet with you?
5 days a week.
All right. You have anything else? I think you covered a lot of stuff, Alex.
Have a spectacular day.
I wonder if part of this program is giving parents the tools to look at all the options.
We do help a lot with that. BRS and DVS also help with that, because there are instances where parents do want to gain guardianship over them. Years ago it used to be a big movement to conservatorship, so they do that, but it seems like it's limited lately. And then you've got to get all your medical documentation saying that this is why we're petitioning for guardianship. And you have to set a court date. You have to meet with the the judge
All of
determine.
those steps.
So we do help out a lot. Actually, over the last few years, we've helped a lot with just getting the students their IDs. It's
Right.
amazing how many young adults don't have their
Just the
non-driver's license, their ID. They don't have their ID, and that's
I mean, those are basic
yeah, those are
things
basic, yeah.
that you don't think about
Yeah.
until you go somewhere and they ask for your
Yeah.
ID.
And the thing is,
what do
you
you
know,
have?
they probably don't have a bank account because they don't have
Right.
any proof of identification.
Right.
They're not traveling because they can't prove who they are. So yeah, it's
Have you ever worked with banks and credit unions here in town around financial literacy and opening up a savings account? I think when I was a kid, we had farmers and mechanics, and you
Yeah.
loved getting that bank book
Yeah.
stamped. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
we-
little different now, but there's something nice about being able to learn how to manage money.
yeah, that's a
or
big
know
part
your
over here.
money.
Not endorsing any bank because I know
Of
this
course.
is whatever, but we do a lot with Citizens Bank.
That's great.
So all of our students open an account with Citizens Bank, probably because they have the no hidden fees until
Right,
26.
right.
But they're very
That's
good.
good to
So,
know.
Yeah, so they help us out a lot. So the students, when they come here, they sign a stipend agreement form saying that they'll do so many hours of internship and they'll receive a stipend. And that
nice.
stipend goes directly towards teaching functional money skills.
Oh,
How
wonderful.
you have to set up an account. We help them monitor their account. We try to avoid like the PayPals and
course.
the other risky things.
Mhm.
But then they use their debit card. So if we're having a day that is more of a leisure day, not a work day, because we have PE days that
Mhm.
are once a month. Sometimes a group will go up on the main street and then they'll go buy something and they'll use your debit card, and then
Nice.
like it's easy when you swipe, but then you have to make sure that you record what you swiped.
Exactly.
So making sure that they go back and fill out their ledger or fill out, in their phone, keep track of how much their account is actually, because it is pretty embarrassing when you go to purchase something
Been there.
and you don't have enough money, and they're
Been
like,
there.
and they're like, you don't have enough money, yeah. So yeah, the components definitely are, getting yourself to that point where you're doing adult real life behaviors. You're getting your license, getting a bank account. If you are capable of getting your driver's license, because we have
Right.
a few students that have the ability to get their driver's license, we help them, practice for the permit test. We've even taken a few up to the DMV and sat with them, and then they took their test, and then they've been
nice.
successful. Yeah, so which is nice. It's again the progression. Each student has their own, I guess, path,
Hmm.
and then fulfilling it as much as possible.
So that's nice that you look at students. It's not a blanket policy. It's not a blanket curriculum. That you look at students as individuals and help plan their
yeah,
moving forward. My other question is, do students earn money?
they get a stipend. So like I mentioned before, the stipend agreement, what they do is this isn't meant to be a job. This is meant
Training.
to give you the skills so that you can get a job, you can keep the job, and you just don't have, a basic approach to something. You've had some some job coaching. We try to wean it off so you're doing more independence, but it's supported employment.
You still have a mentor with
Yeah, until the point where you can go on your and for some it's quick and for some it's not.
you. Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think the public school, our job is to give you the education first.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we bypass it and we want the money. The money's only going to come with the education.
Yeah. Well, I know, folks, everybody wants to live with as much dignity and
Yeah.
independence as possible. And I think in my research and my experience, folks with intellectual challenges and cognitive challenges usually are the best employees that you have. They show up, they don't call out,
Yeah.
they come and they have a
Yeah.
sense of agency about the work they're doing. And I think it would behoove a lot more organizations
Yeah.
and businesses to think about hiring.
Yeah.
So independent living, right? So once students are getting ready to graduate from here in this program, are there resources in town that you direct them towards independent living, whether it's a small apartment or a group home or that sort of thing?
So usually when they age out at 22, if they're intellectually disabled, DDS will help out with
Okay.
that. So that's their last year in the program is a lot of work together. You know, we discuss what's going on. Are they going to stay at home? Are they going to go to a group home? Are they going to branch out and go somewhere else?
Right.
You know,
Right.
that's pretty much the last year here. That's the focus.
Once you turn 23, there's really not a lot of services for this kind of population. And so I imagine trying to get it all in their time here is important. It's hard work and challenging work, but I celebrate you guys for being here and doing the work because it's really important.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Burns, for taking time today to talk with us about the Transitional Academy here in Middletown. We're going to head to the studio with Adriana.
Hello everyone, I'm Adriana Santiago. Welcome to MFETV, where we invite you to come and share great things happening in Connecticut. Today we are here with Xavier Santiago, my brother that works in the Transition Center in Middletown. Let's discuss your experience there.
Well, my experience there, it's pretty nice there. And I really like it there.
That's good. What do you do there? What jobs do they have you do?
I go to various job sites, like different schools, and whenever I don't, they usually have me do 2 schools at a time, and I'm completely fine with that. And then sometimes it's just only one. And whenever sometimes they only have me doing one job site, and if that's that, and after I'm done with that, they usually have me up in the print room.
Okay. How long does that normally take when you go to the schools? What do you do in the schools?
I sign in at the school's main office, then I head straight to the cafeteria with my job coach and another student. It's usually 1 or 2 that are usually with me sometimes, and we go there, we wash dishes at 2 job sites at 3 of the schools they usually send me. I usually prepare bags, little lunch, more breakfast bags
For the morning.
for the little kids. And after that, one school I only pack the bags, and then the other one I pack the bags, and then I do the dishes. We wash the trays, plates, and pans and other kitchen utensils that the kitchen staff use.
Hi, my name is Gregory, and I'm now filling the breakfast bags with apples and spinning maize. So another job that we do here is sanitizing the lunch bags that the ones you take care of so that they're ready for the next time.
Today we're at Snow and I'm putting apple and cream cheese and a bagel and a spork in 60 bags today, so yeah.
So you have friends there.
Mm-hmm.
Do they put you with your friends or do they separate you?
They usually separate me with my friends because it's usually because of a distraction issue for me, and I have to pay attention and focus on my work, and I understand it. I completely do, so
That's
I'm
good.
fine with it.
And
we
So-
also don't go to my high school. Sorry.
yeah, so what else do you do? They just take you to schools or do they take you to other places?
Yeah, they usually just take me to the 3 schools.
And what do you do in the print room or the printing room?
We usually print like logos onto like pieces of fabric, and they are like these machines where they like, it's like a press machine, and we usually like, you have to hold it down like for like a good 30 seconds, I would say, and then release it, and then put it off to cool down. And before we put the logos on, or letters or words, we usually have to peel it off like the
Plastic?
yeah, sort of,
Like
and
a
then
peel, yeah.
and leave the sticker part
On the fabric?
leave the letters on the sticker part,
Mm-hmm.
and then we print that after. We also do buttons as well, like, or not buttons, more like pins, really.
So your experience is so far good?
Yeah.
And you've been going since how long?
I wouldn't say like about like 2 months, I would say, but it's more like 6 weeks, I
But
think.
you started around the same time as I went to school. You went like
Yeah.
couple weeks after I started, so around
Yeah.
August 20-something.
Yeah, so
Or like September, in that first few weeks of September.
so like 2 months.
Almost.
No,
No,
more like
that's-
3 months, really.
Yeah,
So
maybe,
I've been there
maybe.
for like 3 months.
don't quote us on that.
Don't.
Actually, what worksheets do you do in the morning?
They usually have me work on math worksheets, or they usually have me work on math worksheets, and there's this one sheet where I have to write a resume out, and it's like a practice. It's like a fake resume, so I just practice on there.
That's good. So they just have you do resume things, math things. No, like, let's put it this way: you have an English class. They're not giving you English homework. They're
No.
it's just math and resume things.
Yeah.
Okay. Who runs the transition center?
The person who runs the Transition Center is a man named David Burns. He's the one who organizes all the work schedules and makes sure each of us get work at different job sites each.
Do you know anything else other than that of him, or why he started the program?
No, not really. That's all I know.
And what's the program for?
It's to help. The program's to help kids who have just graduated high school, to help them with adulthood, like help them open up their first banking account, depositing their own check, and how to behave in a workplace.
Okay. And how do you behave in your workplaces? Do you have to, like, let's say you're in the school kitchen, can you run around? Or do you have to follow a certain rule? Because a lot of people don't listen, especially when they're at their job places.
When I'm in the kitchen washing the dishes, I usually just like stay there, and sometimes I would grab a little snack whenever I'm hungry, and I have to take off my gloves in order to eat my snack, and then after I'm done, I wash my hands and then put on the gloves.
I mean, that's a given. You have to take your clothes off to eat something. You're not going to use the same gloves you used to clean something
pretty much.
to eat. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of icky. Like, you're going to clean something and then just grab food and eat it.
Yeah.
That's a no. If you do that, there's the door. But yeah. So can you tell me more about yourself? What do you like to do in your free time other than going to work?
What I like to do in my free time is after I come home, I usually just lie in my bed.
Do you do the work if it's like not done? Do you go home like, oh, this isn't done, let me finish it because that's what I have to do? If not, I get in trouble, you know?
No.
Because you got to keep that work and school balance. Like, you got to keep 50-50.
For me, it's
Or
just
is it?
Lopsided.
Or is one, like, more better and the other one's like, oh, it is what it is?
What you just
Oh,
said.
which one is it? Like, you going to, like...
And the other one's...
Okay, which one's better? Which one's eh? The school works eh.
No, the school works better and the other was eh.
As he's playing with you guys.
I'm not, trust me. And when I come home after I work, I usually lie on my big old bed, watch TV, like some comedy shows on Netflix and on Disney Plus. And
I don't know about anybody else, but personally, I come home from school. I have like a 30-minute break before I have to go from home to work. So I like to take my little 30-minute nap before work, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta take that little break. If I don't have work, I take like an hour, maybe over an hour nap, you know? Like, you're thinking like, oh, it's gonna only be 5 minutes. No, that's me. But yeah, so that's what you do when you get home.
yeah, pretty much.
Should fix it. Do some schoolwork, you know?
I don't.
Do they give you extra schoolwork, or is it just like they have you do it in the morning and then they're like, okay, it is what it is?
I usually do it in the mornings, and I go to the job sites.
Do they keep you from going to the job sites if you don't finish the work, or do they have you're like fine if you don't finish the work?
I'm fine if I don't finish it.
So they don't make you go back and like finish it? They're
No.
like, okay, you can go and do what you need to do. No?
They don't stop me from going to the job sites.
Oh. That's cool. I
Yeah.
would say, I would think. Right? And how old are you again?
18.
That's good. And you graduated last year from your high school?
Yeah, I'm MHS. Well, they have to know.
They don't have to know.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
And you liked Middletown schools?
Just say MHS.
Middletown schools?
Yeah.
You like Middletown schools?
Yeah,
or
I did love MHS.
Was it like, because personally, they give me like too much work, like too much where it's like this thick by the end of the week, and they expect you to get it done by 2 p.m. and they signed it at 12 and classes end at 2:10. But hey, like, you gotta get it done, you know?
Well, for me, whenever I was at school, I would usually hang out with my friends in the morning. For a bit, I would get my breakfast, and then I would hang out with my friends for a bit, then get my breakfast, and then continue to hang out with them. Then after the bell rang, I would just go straight to my class. And personally, for me,
wait, straight to your class as in mean you're there before the 5-minute mark, or you're past the 5-minute mark saying you're on time to class when you're really late? And you do more than one lap around the school with your friends to drop all of them around on the 3rd floor when your class is on the 1st floor?
usually I'm past the 5-minute mark, and I usually just go straight to the class by myself.
Okay. Before we finish, we want to show you an inspiring video.
I love to play. I love to wiggle and squirm. Books seem big and scary. They just sat there on the shelf. One day, I saw a whole bookcase. It was tall and full of books. The books seemed to touch the sky. I felt very small. So many words, so many pages. I was overwhelmed. I decided to go play instead. Reading could wait.
And so, Marcus the Worm turned away from the towering bookcase, choosing play over the unknown world of books for now. The next day it rained. Marcus stayed inside and watched the raindrops fall on the window. Pitter-patter, pitter-patter. Suddenly, thump! A book fell off the shelf. It landed right next to Marcus.
What was that?
Curiosity tickled Marcus's belly. He peeked at the cover. The book had a picture of a worm on it. Maybe this book wouldn't be so scary after all. Marcus opened the book. He started to read. The words were easy and fun. The pictures were bright and colourful. He read about faraway lands and amazing animals. He learned about the stars and the moon. Marcus felt himself growing bigger and stronger with every page.
I wasn't just growing in size, I was growing in knowledge too. The more I read, the wiser I became. I felt like I could do anything.
And so Marcus the Worm discovered the joy of reading, growing wiser with each new page he turned. Section 4, A Year of Wonder. Days turned into weeks.
Weeks turned into months.
Marcus read the book about the worm cover to cover.
Then I started another book and another.
He read about history and science.
I read about art and music.
Every book was a new adventure.
I laughed and smiled as I read.
A whole year went by. Marcus was a different worm now. He was no longer afraid of books. He loved them. Reading had changed him. Section 5, A Worm Transformed. Marcus was no longer small and timid.
I was big and strong.
He was also brave and confident. He knew so much.
I looked at the bookcase again. It didn't seem scary anymore. It seemed exciting.
The bookcase was full of treasures just waiting to be discovered.
I wanted to share my love of reading with everyone. I knew that reading could help other worms grow too. I wanted to show them how fun and exciting books could be.
Section 6, The Library's Heart. Marcus gathered all his worm friends.
I told them about the amazing things I had learned from books. I showed them the pictures and shared the stories.
Soon all the worms were hooked. They wanted to read too. They followed Marcus to the library, eager to start their own adventures. Marcus became a hero. He was a symbol of wisdom and inspiration. He showed everyone that even the smallest worm could achieve great things through curiosity and perseverance. And it all started with a single book.
Please subscribe,
like,
and share.